Is this issue of critical race theory and just more broadly critical theory, because I know that you and Tom both would agree that it's not just a tool, it is a worldview. It can't be separated from the worldview that it comes from. And because it is another worldview, there's a sense in which it's another gospel and antithetical to the gospel of Christ. If all that's true, and I feel like you and Tom have made those kinds of statements, is this issue worth a Christian leaving their local church over? If their pastors are, is this something? And how would you know if your pastor, right? Because maybe he's just maybe he's still learning, right? He's doing racial reconciliation nights with good intentions, and he's using a lot of pretty biblical language, but then every now and then, he recommends white fragility as a reading assignment or something, but he just doesn't know. At what point do you say, when do you pull the plug? When is it worth leaving a church over?
Yeah, well, it certainly is worth leaving a church over, and with that statement comes the qualification of enduring and making sure that you're clear that there really is an influence of critical race theory or intersectionality upon this church. Because you're right, you can hold your racial reconciliation night. Bodie Bacham was here at our church, and one of our conferences preached a racial reconciliation sermon, and it was the farthest thing from critical race theory that you've ever heard. So, and then it's right for us to talk about justice. It's right for us to talk about equality. So when you hear somebody saying those terms, if a person came to me and said, my pastor used the word equality, and so I know that critical race theory is there, I'm getting out of here. I'd say, well, hold on, let's talk about what it is. And you really do have to come up with definitions. So if you're recommending white fragility, you got serious problems. You need to head on and get out of there.
Yeah.
But I still think the statement on social justice in the gospel is a great resource for this question. When Tom went to that meeting in Dallas, and then he was tasked with writing up the affirmations and denials. So I remember he sat down here and he said, well, I got to come up with these statement of affirmations and denials and put it before the crew. And we had no idea at that time, how big it would be.
Right.
But I remember categories being formed, and then as they were worked up, I thought these are very, very helpful definitions, because there's a lot of talk about racism. Well, what is it and what is it not? There's a lot of talk about culture and ethnicity. What is it? What is it not? What is it not? And you could put that before people in your congregation. You could ask to meet with your elders if things are coming up, and say, hey, where do you agree with this statement on social justice in the gospel? Where do you disagree with this statement on social justice in the gospel? And I think you come out of that meeting with a lot more information, and hopefully enough to help you make a wise decision.
Thanks for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, we hope that you'll take a moment and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can watch more content like this. Also, take a moment and give this video a like so that it can reach more people, and take a moment and click on the bell so that you'll be notified whenever we come out with new content. Thanks so much. God bless.